The morning of December 26, 2004, dawned like any other across the Indian Ocean basin. Unbeknownst to millions, a cataclysm was brewing beneath the surface. Deep under the sea off Sumatra, the Earth's tectonic plates were grinding, building up pressure. At 7:58 a.m., the fault ruptured. The earthquake measured a monstrous 9.1 on the Richter scale. The ocean floor heaved, displacing trillions of tons of water. A ripple effect began to spread outward. This was the birth of a tsunami. Coastal communities in Sumatra felt the earthquake's fury first. The worst was yet to come. Tsunamis are unlike ordinary waves generated by wind. They are massive ocean surges triggered by seismic events like earthquakes or underwater volcanic eruptions. The 2004 tsunami was caused by sudden seabed displacement. This created devastating waves in the Indian Ocean. These waves traveled at incredible speeds across the ocean. They carried immense energy, moving as fast as a jet airliner. The tsunami struck coastlines thousands of miles away with devastating force. What started as a ripple became a towering wall of water. This wall of water unleashed the unimaginable fury of the deep ocean. The first signs of the impending disaster were deceptively benign. Along the shorelines of Indonesia, Thailand, Sri Lanka, and India, the sea receded dramatically, exposing vast stretches of seabed that had never been seen before. Curious locals, many of them children, wandered out onto the newly revealed beaches, unaware of the danger lurking just out of sight. The receding sea was a terrifying harbinger, a deep breath before a catastrophic exhale.
Then it struck. With a roar that chilled the blood, the tsunami slammed into the coastlines with unimaginable force. Walls of water, frothing and turbulent, crashed ashore, engulfing entire villages and towns in an instant. Concrete buildings were reduced to rubble. Trees were uprooted like twigs. Cars and trucks were tossed about like toys. The devastation was immediate and complete, leaving behind a scene of unimaginable destruction. The tsunami's impact was felt far beyond the immediate coastlines. The powerful currents surged inland for miles, carrying debris, wreckage, and bodies deep into the interior. Entire communities were wiped off the map, their inhabitants swept away by the relentless force of the water. The air was thick with the stench of death and destruction, a grim testament to the sheer power of nature's fury.
In the aftermath of the tsunami, stories of unimaginable loss and miraculous survival emerged from the wreckage. Parents were separated from children, never to be reunited. Entire families were wiped out in an instant, leaving behind only empty spaces where laughter and love once filled the air. The scale of the tragedy was difficult to comprehend, the death toll climbing into the hundreds of thousands.
Amidst the despair, tales of human resilience and compassion also surfaced. Fishermen who had been at sea when the tsunami struck returned to find their villages destroyed, their families gone. Tourists on holiday found themselves thrust into the role of first responders, tending to the injured and searching for survivors. Ordinary people from all walks of life displayed extraordinary courage and selflessness in the face of unimaginable adversity.
There were stories of animals sensing the impending danger and fleeing to higher ground, their instincts warning them of the approaching disaster. There were stories of strangers risking their lives to save others, forming human chains to pull people from the water or sharing their meager supplies with those who had lost everything. In the darkest of hours, the human spirit flickered brightly, offering a glimmer of hope amidst the overwhelming despair. The world watched in horror as the scale of the disaster became apparent. The 2004 tsunami was not just a regional tragedy, it was a global catastrophe that demanded a global response. Search and rescue teams, aided by sniffer dogs, combed through the wreckage, hoping against hope of finding survivors amidst the ruins. The outpouring of support was unprecedented, a testament to the shared humanity that transcends borders and cultures. The immediate response was just the beginning of a long and arduous journey to recovery. The tsunami had not only claimed lives and destroyed homes, it had shattered economies, disrupted livelihoods, and left deep psychological scars on survivors. The task of rebuilding shattered communities and restoring a sense of normalcy seemed almost insurmountable. Governments, aid organizations, and individuals from every corner of the planet mobilized to provide assistance, Humanitarian aid poured into affected regions, bringing food, water, medical supplies, and temporary shelter to those who had lost everything. Medical teams worked tirelessly to treat the injured and prevent the spread of disease. Engineers and construction crews began the daunting task of clearing debris and rebuilding infrastructure. The 2004 tsunami was a stark reminder of the awesome power of nature and the fragility of human life. It also highlighted the importance of disaster preparedness, early warning systems, and building resilient communities. In the aftermath of the tragedy, there was a global push to improve tsunami warning systems, particularly in the Indian Ocean region, which had lacked a comprehensive early warning system at the time. Scientists and engineers worked to develop more sophisticated methods for detecting and predicting tsunamis, while governments and international organizations collaborated to establish early warning networks and evacuation procedures. The goal was to ensure that such a tragedy would never again claim so many lives. The tsunami also highlighted the importance of environmental conservation and sustainable development practices. Mangrove forests, coral reefs, and coastal vegetation act as natural barriers, absorbing some of the energy from tsunami waves and reducing their impact on coastal communities. The destruction of these natural buffers exacerbated the devastation caused by the 2004 tsunami, underscoring the need to protect and restore these critical ecosystems. More than 2 decades have passed since the 2004 tsunami, but the memories of that tragic day remain etched in our collective consciousness. We remember the victims, the survivors, and the countless acts of courage, compassion, and resilience that emerged from the wreckage. We honor their memory by continuing to learn from this tragedy and working to create a safer, more resilient world. The affected communities have shown remarkable resilience, rebuilding their lives and their communities from the ground up. Scars remain, both physical and emotional, but so too does the spirit of hope and determination. The 2004 tsunami was a stark reminder of our shared vulnerability, but it also revealed the extraordinary capacity of the human spirit to overcome even the most unimaginable adversity. As we move forward, let us remember the lessons learned from this tragedy. Let us continue to invest in disaster preparedness, early warning systems, and sustainable development practices, and let us never forget the importance of international cooperation and the power of human compassion in the face of adversity. The 2004 tsunami may have tested our limits, but it also revealed the very best of humanity.